All right. Just hitting the go live buttons, all the places. All right. Hey, everyone. Welcome to the Trend to Send webinar about using trending videos in your marketing. There are, as you know, all kinds of ways to use video in your marketing. And today I want to concentrate on the trending video idea because I really think that it's just kind of where things have been moving for a while and will continue to move. So if now is not a good time, just bookmark this, save it for later. It's going to stay on the various channels that you're watching it on right now. And so you can come back and finish things. And just to say the couple of things at the beginning, I want to say at the beginning, we have a giveaway for 3 people to win a month of Trend to Send. So to enter, all you do is you go to this page and you type in your name and your email address, and you can get additional entries by liking the Facebook page and subscribing to the YouTube channel and all of that. So I'm going to put this on the screen throughout just to remind you. The winners are going to be drawn on Saturday morning, which is tomorrow morning. So about 24-ish hours from now. So enter for your chance to win, and feel free to follow us on social media to get more chances to win. So I'm going to be doing a lot of slides. I'm happy to make the slides available to you. Just leave a comment and I will send them to you in the DMs. But hopefully I've also made the writing big enough and stuff that you're able to also read them wherever you're watching this now. So let's get this party started. I decided to stream this because I really want people to see it. I think that, like I said, this is a pretty big shift over the last couple of years in how we do marketing as small business owners, as nonprofits, as even marketing people. And we all need to figure out how this kind of marketing fits in with our overall marketing goals. So real quick, in case you don't know me, my name is Nicole. My last name is Willette, and I am from Northern Maine, and I now split my time between Maine and upstate New York. I've owned a marketing company for the last 17 years, and I opened my first co-working space 9 years ago. I'm a big believer in co-working spaces, in particular in small towns, because I think they're really important. And I have been making videos about 28 years, and I put parentheses and quotes or I put quote marks around that because I'm not a cinematographer, I'm not a director, I'm not, anything like that, but I've been making videos on the internet for the better part of 2 decades. And yeah, I split my time between Maine and New York State. So if you're in either of those 2 places, let me know. Otherwise, if your other places, let me know, and then I can maybe head over that way. So essentially, I kind of want to frame trending videos, and I'll show you some examples in a second. You'll know what I'm talking about, as kind of like the newest version of meme that exists. When you think about memes, whether it's an animated GIF, whether it's a video clip, whether it's a funny picture, it's usually, making something that's funny or interesting, right? And then other people, or maybe you, remix, repurpose, build upon it. So there's not just usually one version of it. And it gets shared throughout the internet, not just through your groups of people, but through different groups of people as well. And memes are older than you think. You know what? I'm going to move my face. I'm going to move my face. I'm going to just move. There we go. And, memes are a lot older than you think. If we think about memes as something that's fun, that is being shared on the internet, we can think about when the internet was just a bunch of message boards. The first thing we had fun with was tools that we could type text with. So Scott Fallman made the smiley emoticon in 1982. And if we want to think about more memes as we're taking art and we're having sort of fun with it, I thought this photograph from 1905 was really interesting. Yes, it's a cat. The internet is for cats, obviously. And the cat is wearing a dress and sitting in a high chair. But really small print below the picture is written in white writing, "What's delaying my dinner?" So even back when taking these pictures was a relatively inaccessible thing, and even when only certain people could do it, people were still having fun with what they created. And then if we think of memes like this white font, by the way, is called Impact. So if we think of memes as like what is white impact font superimposed on an image, this is one of the first ever memes. It's from 2003. Nobody knows what the first meme was because there was just a lot going on at that time. And it's not like the internet now where there's, date stamps and things like that. But there was a few memes around this time, but it's believed that this was one of the earliest ones. And when we think about memes, and this I can has cheeseburger cat meme in particular, we know that part of what it was that people remixed it. People added other text on top of it. People gave him outfits. People added decorations for seasonal things. This is just I just screenshotted 6 of them, but there was way more than this, okay? And images aren't the only thing that's been remixed. Sampling was started in France in the 1940s, and it was called musique concrète. And you can imagine sampling music in the 1940s probably wasn't the easiest thing in the world to do, but they still did it because it was fun. And the first sample-based instrument, the mellotron, was developed in the 1960s. So if you think about music from that time period, if you think of the Beatles, David Bowie, Genesis, the use of synthesized recordings from adding a clip of a choir or adding some strings to a music that wouldn't have a whole string section in it was a really novel thing that not everyone, one was able to do. You needed a machine. And if we think even about video, right, which is kind of the most complicated thing, this dancing baby, which you probably recognize maybe from Alec McBeal if you're my age anyway, this dancing baby was made in 1995. Well, and it was kind of went around in 1996. But it took like 10 people in 6 months to make this dancing baby. Like one person was in charge of like the exoskeleton of the baby. The other person was in charge of like the choreographing the dance moves. The other person. So it took a series of professionals and some really nice software to be able to make this happen at this time. And if you think about today, we have had fun with media since it's existed, even back in 1905 when we were taking funny pictures of cats. We now, though, have access to graphics, to cameras, to editing tools that used to only be available to a specific group of people or were very expensive to get access to. And obviously, making content online involves self expression, connecting with other people, and all that is stuff that our human brain really is wired to do. So, all this to say is that these videos were a natural progression. Now, if you don't want to think about making these trending videos as part of a larger cultural context, just know that the numbers don't lie either. When we look at before Instagram Reels were introduced, so like what 20 2019, I think this was from. Yeah, 2019. We see that the average person spent about 15 minutes a day on Instagram. But after Reels were introduced, so in 2024, the year that I'm recording this, we've gone to 33 minutes. So essentially by adding Instagram Reels, it has doubled our time on the platform. So that's not insignificant. Why? Because these platforms make money off of advertising. And the longer you spend on the platform, the more ads they can show you. And different platforms have been trying to figure out what does short video mean to them. Does it mean 60-second videos? Is 90 seconds also short? What's too short? And basically, if you're going to make a short video, if you make it between 4 and 60 seconds, you can pretty much post it on just about any platform. So I would aim for that. And the great thing about these trending videos is they're typically 7 to 20 seconds long. So they fit right in that frame pretty nicely and on the shorter end of things too. So yeah, these short videos are here to stay because they're keeping people on these platforms. But let's also talk about the numbers from your side, the content creator. So, or the business owner, I should say. So, if you're going to spend time making marketing content for your business, right? Let's take a look at these stats. This is screenshotted from one of our client accounts from actually, I think even over a year ago. This is kind of an older screenshot, but I'm pretty confident that if you did this in your stats, you'd probably see something similar. So if we look at this client's posts, which is the stuff that is in their normal Instagram feed, and we look at their reels, which is stuff that's in, the reels section of an Instagram feed, we see that the reels not only are seen by more people, including more of their followers, they're also more likely to be seen by strangers. And I just wanted to stick this stat in here. I thought this was really interesting that users watched on average of 46 minutes of TikTok videos. So think about that. You open the TikTok app and you're like, "Oh, this is a short video." And it's like you're eating little snacks and you keep snacking on that video. And so you end up staying on the platform longer than you mean to. Your friend wants you to watch a movie with them and you're like, "Oh, I don't have time to watch a movie." And then you start watching TikToks and suddenly you've spent 46 minutes. Okay, well, you could have watched a half of a movie in that. So, if you're going to make content, it makes sense, right? For you to at least make some of your content short videos, because not only are people more likely to see the video, both strangers and your followers, but they're also more likely to engage with the video in terms of a piece of content. So, there's tons of types of short videos out there. I really didn't think this through when I made these slides, did I? But we're concentrating today on trending videos. So that's, there's all these other types of videos too. And I could do whole webinars about these topics. Let me know if that's of interest. But we're talking today about trending videos. So what is a trending video? I keep talking about trending videos. Like, what is it? So a trending video is a video that gains significant attention and popularity over a short period. And then other people start doing their own versions or creating with the same audio or something like that. So there's a few different things that can be trending about a video. One is the start of the video. So I'm going to show you an example now, and it was from I think about a year ago. And this woman named Susie is making a video about homemade pesto. And at the beginning of the video, she says, "Call me crazy, but I've never liked store-bought pesto." And then she proceeds to make her pesto recipe. Now, because it's the internet, what happened is everyone took that beginning part and then they added their contribution with the most crazy thing that had ever happened to them. So let's take a look at that example.
Call me crazy if you want, but I've never liked store-bought pesto.
Susie, that is so crazy. And it kind of reminds me of this one time when I was 16 and I had a SWAT team with an armored truck and machine guns pull up to my house looking for me because someone called my local police department pretending to be me, saying that I had my whole family held hostage.
We don't need to watch the whole thing, but you get the idea. So the whole internet, if you just look up Susie Pesto Stitch, by the way, on TikTok, you can watch a series of these videos. So one thing that can make a trend is the start or the sort of hook of the video. Another thing, and this is kind of the most popular thing, and so we're going to spend some more time talking about it a bit later, is using the same music or audio that other people are using. So I'm going to show you an example video. By the way, we have a trend to send service where people can join and they will get text messages from me with a trending video idea, examples of the trending video idea, and then I do the trend. We won't watch the whole thing, but we'll watch the beginning of it so that you can see the paging Dr. Beat example. Hi everyone, it's Nicola trying to send. Here is so essentially Oh my goodness, I cannot do things today. I thought I could go back, but I'm just going to zoom out here and get back to where I was. But that is Paging Dr. Beat. So it is the start of, it's a little cute hook, right? And it plays a song and people are doing, as you see, various types of trends with it. Yes, present it. It's fine. Another thing that you can do is subject matter of a video. So about 2 months ago, there was a creator named Jules LeBron who did a whole video about how she goes to work and she does her makeup in a certain way, and it's very demure, very mindful, very intentional. So let's go watch an example of that.
You want me to order a parasite test for you? Okay. It's been giving you a lot of anxiety? Okay. Yeah, I can see how it'll help. Okay. Yeah, I can go ahead and put that order in for you. It's not something that I'm very concerned about, but I totally understand how it would make you feel better. So I'll be sure to put that order right in, okay? You see how I ordered labs for my patients when they asked me for them? Very mindful, very cutesy, very demure. I don't need to gaslight my patient. I don't need to discount their feelings. I don't do too much. I'm not like you other doctors. Very cutesy, very demure.
Hi, everyone. So that is basically the demure trend, is different people were talking about how they did things in a demure way. So it wasn't a specific audio track. It wasn't, I mean, some people use the original audio track to do it, but some people just talked about how they did their jobs in a demure way. And then a final kind of trend is an edit or a transition. So let me show you the crumbled paper one.
Hey everyone, it's Nicole Trend to Send. Here is today's trend.
You want me to order?
So essentially, these things can be varying degrees of complexity, or, you know, some things involve an object like a piece of paper being crumbled up, some don't. By the way, essentially, obviously, you take a video of yourself crumbling a piece of paper and throwing it, and then you just reverse it. That's kind of how this happens. And there's a reverse button in CapCut to really do this actually relatively easily.
Call me.
So, in short, the thing that hangs most people up, besides finding the trend, is doing the editing part. So we can think about editing. Yes, we can think about it as an extra step, but we can also think about it as a way to add interest, show the viewer what to notice. We can have it do pacing. You can even use it to make up for filming issues. Like, let's say you did a whole thing where you thought the sound sounded good. Well, instead, you can use clips and just do a voiceover to cover over it. And there's different things that you can do in terms of editing to make a video better. But I just want to talk about sort of 3 simple ideas and show you how it changes things. So one is, so there's black and white to color. And maybe let's play this again. I know you've been. Now, I know this looks complicated, but it kind of isn't. What you do is you cut the clip, right? There's going to be the part of the clip that's black and white, and there's going to be part of the clip that's color. And then you take the clip that you want black and white, and then in the color adjustments in CapCut, you just take the saturation level and you bring it to 0. Now, sometimes I find when I do this with my videos, sometimes it's a little bit too dark. So what you can do is you can increase the brightness a little bit if you find that there's a little bit too much, black, or it's like too dark to see the subject matter. And ta-da, you have a black and white clip. So this little thing, just color, added some interest in the editing process. This is not something, obviously, that she did while she was filming. Another thing that you can do is experiment with speed changes. And I'm kicking myself because there was a cool video that someone did, and she was showing different outfits. And then she was standing kind of against a brick wall wearing these different outfits. And the camera person, how they did it was they walked around her kind of in a half circle, like I did here with Jessica. And what you see happen is the sides of the clip, as you're kind of coming around, are a bit faster. And then when you get to the middle, where you can really see the person head on, it gets slower. I will say that this will be more forgiving, and I learned this in filming Jessica. If the ground is level that you're walking on, and in my case, it kind of wasn't, or if you do it with a flat backdrop that will like a brick wall or something similarly uniform. This way, if you have to adjust things, it's not as obvious. And if you use a gimbal, this shot would be even better. So let's watch it again and just notice how at the beginning it's kind of fast and then it slows down in the middle and then it speeds up at the end. So I think what I did was I did 5 times speed and then I did half speed and then I did 5 times speed when I edited this. So and I want to retake it so that it's more straight, but let's watch it again so you can see what I mean. So you see how that kind of added some interest by just changing the speed of an otherwise pretty uniform clip. So this is a way that you can add interest to a video. Or if you're doing something that takes a long time, like I did a video for a B-roll of myself making a cup of coffee. It was 3 minutes and 13 seconds. No one wanted to watch that. I sped it up and got it to 15 seconds, and that was a lot more watchable. So another thing that you can do is change zoom. And as you see here, this is also a little bit interesting because we're also changing the speed as well as the zoom. So what you do is you find a place to shoot, and this is going to be more dramatic. And when we watch it again, you'll notice this. There's vertical lines in this, which make the zoom really noticeable. Obviously, you could also do it like in a interesting landscape or something where the zoom would be really noticeable. You get it to 3 times zoomed in, and then you start recording and then you zoom out. So let's watch it again. So basically this is a series of clips where the person making this video did that. And I wanted to do this before this workshop myself, but I just didn't have time. So you see how it's really noticeable with the vertical lines. So you don't have to obviously do it with the vertical lines. This would be pretty cool with like I said, like a beautiful landscape or something like that. But point being is that if you even make these small changes, it can make a really big difference in your editing. And you really don't have to know a ton about editing to be able to do it that way. Start with simple edits, get comfortable using the software, and then, you can try more complicated things. You can do multiple kinds of editing. And if you're trying a new technique, like you're trying the Zoom thing, give yourself time and space to redo it. So like if I only have 5 minutes and then I have to post this, don't give yourself those kind of constraints. Like the thing I did with Jessica, I was like, oh, I want to try this shot. I tried it and I was like, oh, I know what I want to do differently. First of all, the sun was in a bad position. But second of all, I want to go and make sure that I have a sort of flat area to do the semicircle in. And I know how I would do that now, but I didn't really think through it at the time. So like I said, before I send any trend to sends, by the way, I have tried the trend as a sort of normal person, and I'm happy to give kind of little tips about how to do the shot so that basically people don't waste the same amount of time that I did in sort of figuring out what works and what doesn't for, like I said, a normal person with a normal smartphone. So anyway, the thing that I think makes me the most mad about people when they talk about trends is that they act like the trend is only going to last for a couple of hours and you have to jump on it right this second. But the reality is that most trends last a little while. And what I want to do is talk about the example, It's Corn. So 2 years ago in 2022, this cute kid is interviewed by a reporter on August 4. Okay. And I'm putting the dates here so that you just see how long the trend lasts. So on August 4 of 2022, kid gets interviewed. On August 18, so a couple of weeks later, someone remixes the kid's interview into a song called It's Corn. So I start seeing people on TikTok using It's Corn, and they start off with obvious things. They start off with corn recipes. They start off with showing corn in their garden or something. But then people start using the sound to talk about something they like as much as this kid likes corn. So for example, if it was, I don't know, a coffee shop owner, they could, they would superimpose on the screen, it's coffee, it's a delicious beverage, it wakes you up, it can be served a million different ways. Like, so they would put stuff on the screen that kind of went with the music, but it wasn't about corn, it was about coffee, that kind of thing. So I started to see people do this. And so on August 22nd, I emailed probably 5 clients who did not care. And I was like, hey, there's this trend going on, it's happening. You should get on this. And then on August 28th, it was remixed into a dance song. And on August 29th, the original song was added to Spotify and streaming. All this to say, the actual story doesn't matter. And I kept up with this one because I wanted to prove my point, which is that we can say that it started August 18th with the song, and it was added to streaming August 29th. So there is an almost 2-week period of time where people are having fun with It's Corn. Okay. It wasn't like 3 hours. It's nice to be able to move on trends. But the thing is that the trend is probably going to last at least a couple of days, not a couple of hours. Okay. So don't let anyone tell you that if you don't do the trend in 2 hours, that like it's going to go by and you're never going to get to do it again, because it's just not the case. What we learned from It's Corn is that in attaching a song or a sound to it, it helps it last longer and helps people have more fun with it. And obviously, like, making the trend more general and universal is a great way to make it happen. So for example, not everyone loves corn as much as this kid loves corn, but everyone loves something a lot and they want a chance to talk about it. So that's what made this trend really universal. And like I said, to me, the biggest thing is that marketing people will tell you, oh my God, you have to do the trend right this second. And I'm telling you that you don't. You have days, if not hours. And that's why with our Trend to Send service, like I'll send the trend and I'll say, and for our Pro and our Plus subscribers, I say, hey, get us the clips within basically 2 days and we'll turn them around and get them right back to you, or we'll get them posted for you right off. Because yes, the trend does have a time period, but it's not so short of a time period that as a small business owner, you can't get on some of these. It just really gets my goat when people act like you have to be just chronically online all the time to be able to do trending videos. You really don't. So how this whole like, okay, well, it's corn or any song, how does that work, right? How do I jump on the trend? And so basically, if you're on TikTok, so this is a screenshot from TikTok. If you're on TikTok, if you're on Instagram, if you're on YouTube Shorts, and you're scrolling, you see a trend that you like, and what you'll notice is on the very bottom. And like I said, this is a TikTok screenshot, but it'll be in a similar place. It'll say the name of the sound. And when you click on it, you'll be taken to this second screen, which shows you the name of the trending audio. In this case, Give Me Everything stripped down. It'll show you the artist, Archer Marsh. It'll show you the amount of videos that are using the trend. In this case, 156,500 at the time of this screenshot. And you'll see that you have a couple of options here. We can add it to our favorites, so that will sort of bookmark it for us to use later. Or on the very bottom, you'll see that there's buttons that say add to story or use sound. So what you're going to do when you record your theoretical clips is you are going to grab one of these videos to use the sound, and then you're going to attach the sound when you upload it into TikTok. I'll get to that in a second. And what you'll notice with this trend is you'll see that on the very top corner, it says viral 50 number 25. So this is, was ranked 25 out of the top 50 trends on TikTok at the time of the screenshot. So you can always see what audio people are using. And like I said, if you're not ready to use it right away, just add it to your favorites. Or if you want, you can save a version of the video to your phone and use it to edit your own version later. Sometimes I do both. And in terms of where to find these trends, every single website has, or every social media platform has a way for you to see these trends, right? So what's helpful is that both TikTok and YouTube have actual pages on their websites where you can see this. But on Instagram, you have to go into your professional dashboard that is in your app. I don't know why they don't have just a straight link, but Instagram likes to make everything more complicated. So you're going to click on professional dashboard and then trending sounds, and then you'll see a list. Now, the problem with this, first of all, is that you have to check at least, TikTok and Instagram. Maybe you don't care about YouTube, but I do think YouTube shorts are something a lot of people sleep on. You have to keep track of these sites and see what's going on. And the thing is, it will only show you like the top 50 or the top 100. Well, just because something isn't in the top 50 or top 100 does not mean that it isn't a trend that is worth using, that will get you a lot of views or that will get you a lot of engagement, right? So how are you supposed to deal with this? Well, this is how I deal with it. So first of all, I am checking these various platforms and I'm looking for trends that fit 3 criteria for me. One, that I think are actually usable by business accounts on Instagram. So when I'm scrolling, I'm not scrolling as my personal self. I'm scrolling as one of the businesses, right? I'm using a business account because I don't want to use audio that can't be used by a business account. Now, this also applies to TikTok as well. Like there was a really cool song that you might have heard going around called Sta, 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 Sta. I think it's a K-pop band, but I'm not entirely sure. It's definitely in another language. And it's a cool sound, but when you go to the link on TikTok, it says you can't use this for commercial use. So we're not using it in Trend to Send. I don't want people to get copyright claimed. I don't want their accounts to be in any kind of jeopardy, right? So it has to be usable by business accounts, but typically it's Instagram that's kind of high maintenance about this. So that's the one that I sort of check first, and then I check the other ones as well. But Instagram is going to be the strictest in general. I then also look for anything that's like, okay, is this cool, but it has a really complicated dance? Or is this cool, but it's a bunch of people shaking their butts? Like, so yes, it's popular, but like, do people want to associate with that on their business accounts? Probably not. And then as I look through people doing content, are there some cool business ideas that I can show the Trend to Send people so that they can think about it in relation to their businesses? So what I do, because I'm usually on my phone doing this because it's a lot easier to search and find things I find on a phone for these different things. I message myself on Slack with a link to the trend, and then I put the current number of videos using the trend. This way, if I'm doing it at like 10 o'clock at night or something, the next morning when I go to put it in my spreadsheet, which I'll get to in a second, I can see if the numbers are changing. I don't have to look and see, okay, what's the top 100 on Instagram? I can just say, oh, is this one popping off? Cool. Oh, this one only got 100 more uses overnight. Okay, I'm going to keep an eye on it, but it might be dead. So I message myself, and then after I put them in a spreadsheet and I find the corresponding. So if I found it on Instagram, I go find the corresponding audio on TikTok and YouTube. Sometimes that's a little bit of a ridiculous errand because, you're like, okay, this is the creator's name on TikTok. Okay, this is where they posted that video 2 weeks ago. Okay, so then I go find them on Instagram, find the creator's name, scroll back to 2 weeks ago. Oh, they didn't post that video. Okay, did someone else post this trend? Oh, it's originally a song by the Cardigans and it's a remix. Okay, let's go look at the Cardigans Instagram account. So I sometimes go down these rabbit holes, but I find the original, or at least like what I think is the original, on TikTok, Instagram, and if I can on YouTube. And then what I do is I put it in my spreadsheet and I put counts next to each one. You know what? I'll just show it to you. Oh, we're hanging out. So this is my, oh, right. I have to stop sharing this one and share the other one. So I have a whole spreadsheet. Let me show it to you because who doesn't love a good spreadsheet, right? So this is my current spreadsheet. I meant to move this one. There's a really cute "Am I on your FYP" going on TikTok, but everyone using it on Instagram is using it in a way that I'm like, I don't think so. So I'm keeping an eye on it. And I haven't updated these counts yet. But what I can do, because Google Sheets has version control, is I can see how these different, and I'm completely blanking on how to do it right now. I can see how these numbers have changed over time. So I can be like, oh, 2 days ago it was at 5,000. Now it's at 8,000. Okay. So these two trends I couldn't find on TikTok, so they're already kind of low on my list. And then I'm just keeping track of the numbers. So let's look at this Instagram reel. All right, I'm only sharing one tab at a time because that's just how the streaming software works. So if I go here, okay, how many views? Okay, it has 250,000 reels. Okay, so keep that in mind. Let me open back up my spreadsheet. It's less annoying when obviously you're not streaming this, but so this one went from 236,000 when I last updated this to 250,000. So this is what I do. I go through, I update my counts, and as you see, this one is cool, and it's really growing on Instagram, and it's been kind of slow on TikTok. I just looked at this morning, and it only got a few hundred more uses since the last time I looked at it. So this might be an Instagram only one. The thing is that I'm trying to find the trends that are the most applicable, because you're a small business owner. You don't have time to make trending videos for 3 different platforms. Okay. I know that. I don't want that for you. So what I want to do is I want you to make 2 videos a week, and I want the 2 videos a week that you make to actually be applicable for your own stuff. Right. So I'm trying to save people time here and effort by only, doing a few, like 2 videos a week instead of, catering to all these different platforms. So I basically update my spreadsheet in the counts, and I check them every 2 to 3 days. And if something is still getting uses, but it is really slowed down, I add it to the slow grow tab. Full disclosure, most things end up in the slow grow tab. They just, they kind of stall out. Oh, only, a few hundred people have used it in the last 3 days. Okay. It's still cool. Like, people are still using it, but it's not like the video that I think you should spend 15 minutes of your life making. Sometimes there's no changes. And if no changes, I'll either put it in a no section, or I will put it in the oldies but goodies or category. So if something is just a classic idea like Demure and It's Corn, I'm going to put it in the oldies but goodies category, because you could still do it a year from now and people would still think it's cute. One of the things going on right now that I think is really cute is that people saying like Gen Z writing their marketing script. So you get the middle-aged person in your company to say like, no cap, this is the best house on the market. This kitchen ate, and whatever. So that's like sort of an oldie but goodie. It's not really trendy right now. It's not getting thousands of uses a day, but it's still cute and people are still going to like it. So I have these various categories, and this is how I spend my time, because I like this sort of thing. And then the morning that Trend Descend goes out, I'm like, okay, I update my counts one last time. And honestly, sometimes picking the one is really easy. Picking Paging Dr. Beat, super easy. Picking, I'm trying to think of the other ones. The Olympic theme, super easy. Sometimes my job is easy. I see it popping off on the various platforms. I see that there's really great use by business accounts. I see that there's nothing problematic or complicated. Great. Sometimes it's between a few. And what I do is I pick the one that is doing the best across multiple platforms. And sometimes I'll also have to vary the trend. So for example, like, let's say there was like a sort of inspirational audio, not that I use those too much. I would follow that. If Mondays was a inspirational audio, I would not do another inspirational audio on Wednesday of the same week. I think I want to, vary the trends. I think that's what makes it more interesting. So, and as you see, there's a screenshot of my spreadsheet. Now, I'm going to give a controversial tip here, because people sometimes ask me, they're like, well, Nicole, like sometimes, I don't have access to the good sounds because I'm a business account. And let's say that you still want the Instagram insights, but you want access to more audio. You can change your account to be a creator account. It's a controversial tip. I don't think you'll get in trouble for it, but it'll definitely give you access to a lot more audio options. The one thing is, proceed with caution if you're using like the Commerce Manager part of Meta Business Suite or other things like that are associated specifically with business accounts. But if you're just using Instagram as a business and you just want to get your stats, sometimes switching to a creator account will give you more audio options. But like I said, in Trend to Send, I only browse as a regular business account. So I'm not even sending trends that are not be able to be used by business owners. But in case you're running into that doing it yourself, that might be an easy way to give yourself more options. Now, in terms of my workflow on this, I like to search and save trends from my phone. I find the search function works better. I feel like the app versions of these are typically more well thought out than honestly the desktop version. I hate editing video on my phone more than anything. Because one wrong thumb move and you've accidentally clipped like 3 seconds of your video. So I like to edit things in CapCut.com on my computer. And then once everything is the way I like it, because I use Google Photos, everything is synced back and forth from like my phone to my computer in terms of audio and video. But some people use, Google Drive. Some people use Dropbox. Some people just, email it to themselves or text it themselves. Some people airdrop it. However you want to send stuff back and forth between your phone and your computer is up to you. But I like to post and attach the audio from my phone because then I can also see, like, does it look good on the phone? Is the text cutting off? It gives me kind of an extra sort of layer in addition to being able to attach the audio, because you really can't do that from the desktop computer. I don't know why Instagram makes us use the app for everything, but so yeah, this is my workflow. I like bring all my clips into my computer. And then what I do is I download a version of the trending audio that I want to use. I download one of the videos and I use that video. I'm not going to show the video, but I use that video for the audio. And then I make the clips the way I want them on my computer. And then I export them and attach them on my phone. By the way, if you are looking for like, well, how do I attach the audio? How do I do the edit? If you go to the Trend to Send FAQ part of the website, every time someone asks me a question or every time I ask myself a question, I answer it on the FAQ page. How to attach a trending audio on Instagram? How to attach a trending audio on TikTok? How do I know that me posting these trending videos, let's say you're going to commit to it for a month. How do I know that it's doing anything? What stats should I check? What is a trending sound? So you'll recognize the part of the screenshot that I took in this presentation, right? So it's all like, I try to answer stuff on that page, even how to do specific kinds of edits in CapCut. I'm trying to just make a nice library of content on that page. You do not need to be a Trend to Send member if you want to look at information there. But so just wanted to kind of share that as a resource. By the way, just as a little reminder, if you think this is cool, I'm doing a little giveaway. We're going to pull it about 24 hours from now. If you go to trendtosend.com/win, you just fill out the form and you can enter to win a free month of Trend to Send. And yeah, should be fun. But like I said, the FAQ resources are totally open to everybody. So that's how I keep up with the trends. Like I said, I'm not saying it's perfect, but and then, let's get back to like the overall picture of like, okay, we kind of got in the weeds a little bit with editing and sort of finding the trends, but like, why am I doing this again? Remember, these trending videos are very short. You saw the examples that we looked at. They're very short. They're typically, from a couple of seconds to like 20 seconds long. The internet is already having fun with these trends. So you don't have to convince anyone like this is a cool idea. People are already using it. So that's always nice. These trends are usually very flexible. So what you'll notice is in the examples we looked at earlier for all those trends, I try to find really different examples. Like I don't just be like, oh, here's 3 nail salons using this trend, or here's, a bunch of hairdressers, or here's just a bunch of boutiques. I try to find at least one service and one product business. So like in the example I sent, I think, on Wednesday, this last one, there was like a resume coach, there was I think a hairdresser, and there was a boutique. So I try to find a bunch of different examples because I want to show that it's not just for one kind of business or the other. And you'll see in all those trends that it's just really flexible how people are using it. And so I like to give people ideas with how to use the trend, and hopefully one of them resonates. But if not, I tell people, listen, if you're part of Trend to Send, just message us. Just say, hey, I don't know how to use this one. What would you do? And we're happy to give you ideas. That's part of the service. Using trends makes your business look fun and accessible, because you're not just stiff upper lip. Like a resume consultant, like, yeah, they can still have fun. And then honestly, the 2 biggest hurdles besides getting on camera, getting yourself to do it, are, people are like, oh, CapCut, learning to edit video, that must be complicated. Or like, how do I attach the audio? Those are the two things that seem to hang people up. But honestly, it doesn't take long. And part of the videos that I do is I show myself filming the trend and then I show the edit so that people see that, oh, she spent like 5 minutes filming herself. I probably spent under 10 minutes editing it too. Like the whole thing should be about 15 minutes of your life. And the idea is that since it's structured, so that you have the trending audio and then you have some ideas and it's relatively short, if you wanted to give this task to a staff member or an intern, like you wanted to give someone a fun part of their job, you can do this. And they won't spend 6 hours making one video. And I know what you're thinking, Nicole, like 6 hours on one video, that's an exaggeration. It isn't. I met with an intern that was working for a client, and the client wanted her to do video. Didn't want me to train her, said she could figure it out. So she did. And then I was visiting and she's like, oh, Nicole, can I show you the video I made? And sure, she showed it to me. And to be honest, like, I mean, I've been making videos for 20 years. It's not the video I would have made, but I thought it was pretty good. And I said, hey, good job. And she said, thanks so much. Oh my God, that took me like 6 hours. And I was like, God, here's the thing. Like, I get it. As a business owner, you don't want to pay someone for 6 hours to make one. Yes, maybe you want to pay them 6 hours or more if it's going to be an interview that's going to be on the homepage of your website, or it's a TV commercial that, is going to be on air for the next 6 months. I totally get spending time on quality video. These trending videos are just supposed to be fun and lighthearted. They're not supposed to take someone like 6 hours. So, and yeah, people do spend that time on those things. So in short, the trending video idea is just a way that you can have fun with video, but it's relatively structured and it shouldn't be a giant time sink, is I guess what I'm talking about. So if you like this idea, but you feel a little overwhelmed about how you'd execute, I just want to talk very briefly about our Trend to Send service. So basically how it works is people get a twice weekly text message. On Monday morning and on Wednesday morning, they get a text message. In that text message is a video of me talking. I show at least three examples, sometimes more of the trend if it's shorter. I give ideas of how to implement it, and then I film a version myself. I show myself filming it and then what the edit looks like. So in the text message, they get that video, and then they get links to the trending audio on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. So after getting that, you basically have everything you need to make the trending video. And then you record your clips, and you can either edit them yourself in CapCut, or you can send them to us for editing and posting if you do a higher level of service than just the text. And the idea is that we're a marketing company on the other end. So if you're stuck on how to implement the trend, ask us. We don't mind giving you ideas. We don't mind thinking through it with you. If you don't like the videos you're making, ask us. We can look at the videos. Maybe I can give you some tips of like how to make the filming come out better, or, something that you're doing in editing that you don't realize you're doing. We're here to help, essentially, is kind of what I want people to know. Because if you want someone physically in your company doing the marketing, but you want them to have a little bit of help because they don't have any other marketing colleagues, like that's what this is trying to do a little bit. And then obviously posting these videos will get you more from your online marketing efforts. Because as we established at the beginning, people are watching these videos, people are engaging with these videos, and it's not just your current followers that are doing so. So just some results for some clients. This is a retail store that has about 2,000 Facebook fans, and they had kind of a brand new Instagram account with 4 followers when we got a hold of it. The client had never done any video up to this point, and this is results from the first month. So a 31% increase in engagement and 60% increase in impressions just in the first month. And we posted 2 videos a week. So just like Trend to Send, we posted 2 videos a week and then posted 3 photos, also throughout the course of that week. This is another client with a retail store. They're a little bit more distributed. They had about 500 Facebook fans, about 300 Instagram followers, but they had a brand new TikTok with 8 followers. So the client has told us, by the way, that people specifically call, email, send messages on social media when they see something they like because they want to buy it. They don't have e-commerce yet, but we're trying to convince them. Their Instagram engagement rate is 7.44%. And if you know anything about Instagram engagement, that's pretty good, especially for, if you have like 14 Instagram followers and they're all your friends, usually your engagement rate could be higher than this. But as your audience gets bigger, it's hard to maintain engagement. And as their audience has grown, they have, really maintained the engagement. But what's most impressive with this client, remember, they have 8 TikTok followers when I took the screenshot. Their videos got 10,000 views in 28 days and reached 8,836 people with only 8 TikTok followers. So just making the videos was powerful. You can expect, if you post regular trending videos, you can expect increased engagement on your platforms. You can expect increase in followers. One of our trend ascenders was stuck at a certain follower count for the last couple of months. She started posting our trending videos and now she is increasing again. It sort of got her out of the rut. You should see increased website and physical visits into your business, or, people calling or emailing and saying, oh, or even saying when they walk in, hey, I've been seeing your videos. That's what happened with the first retail person. They were like, we couldn't believe people are coming in and saying they see our videos, and they couldn't believe that was happening. And that never happened with any of their other content before. And then obviously your, increased level of cool online. People see you as sort of a cool business, or, oh, like I definitely want to go in there and meet them. So we have different levels of service. Most people go with the just the text, which is where you get the text and the video, and you get the links to so you get a video talking a step-by-step guide on how to do the trend. You get links to the trending audio, and you get 2 of these text messages a week. So if you act on these, you are now posting 8 videos a month, and that's $49 a month. If you want us to edit your clips, that is the plus level. And what you do is you upload your clips, by the day and time on your screen. So within 48 hours of us sending the trend, you send us your clips, we edit them together for you, and we send them back to you for posting. And that's $299 a month. Or if you want us to just do it, like you send us the clips, we will edit and post the videos for you for $399 a month. And honestly, like people I've showed this to, they're like, oh, that's pretty low. The thing is, what we want to show you is that if we're doing even just 2 videos a week for you and you're getting these results, like what else could we do for you? So it's in kind of our best interest to kind of keep that low, because I would like people to let us do that. So in short, if you want to learn more, you can go to trendascend.com. There is, like I said, that FAQ is pretty much a pretty useful part of the site. We have, like I said, every time someone asks a question, like, how do I do the black and white clip? I have that in there. How do I reverse the clip? I have that in there. That kind of thing. As someone asks, we put it on the FAQ. And and if you want, you can, like I said, go to Trend Ascend, look around, check out the various social media platforms that we have, or Trend Ascend on TikTok and Instagram. And if you want to win a free month of Trend Ascend, just go to trendascend.com/win. We're going to do a drawing within 24 hours of, some winners. So you could try it for a month and see how you like it and sort of decide from there. So share that with your friends or small business owners, because we're giving out 3. So it's not just one winner here. There could be up to 3. So depending on how many people watch this. So that's all I've got about trending videos. And I'm going to check the comments here. It's funny because Instagram makes me, okay, no comments on that one. It makes me keep a tab open for each Instagram feed, and we have 2 going on. So, oh, did I close it? I closed the other one. That's fine. So, yeah, that would be, okay. I think it's still going. I think I just closed the tab. I don't know why Instagram makes us have tabs open during live streams, but anyway, yeah, that's all I got. So if you have any questions about trending videos, please leave them as a comment on this video. Or if you're more shy, you can also message us. You can either do it on the Trend Ascend website, as the contact form is right there, or you can do it on the Breaking Even website contact form. Like I said, wherever you're watching this, feel free to leave a comment and we're going to see it and we can answer your questions about trending videos. So yeah, remember, marketing is supposed to be fun and it's supposed to be effective. And that is what we're trying to do with this new trending video service, is to make it both for you. Also, rather than emailing clients who may or may not care about random corn trends, now I can send a text message to a group of people who think this stuff is cool. which is great. That's why I love my job. So thanks so much for watching. Have a great upcoming weekend, and hope to see you online or in real life soon. Take care.